going on, everyone? So Maxwell Lewis is the prospect that many people believe was and has the potential to be the steal of the draft. Lakers got him in the second round with the 40th pick. Many people and many big boards had him in the first round as low as 15th in the draft. He's a guy 6'7", great athleticism, two-way 3-and-D style player, and a guy that many believe could end up being one of, if not the best players on the Lakers in the next 3 years. And so far, we were in Summer League, and we've gotten to see little glimpses of him. He hasn't been showcased in the way that you would have hoped, right? He's not playing the minutes that you would have hoped. He's not really a focal point one way or the other. But in the time that he has played and in the opportunities he has been given, he has shown a lot of just really great, really brilliant flashes. And I really love what I'm seeing from this kid so far. Now, he's shown the athleticism. He's shown the ability to get to the rim, to finish over players, to shoot off the dribble, to run the fast break, to defend and block shots. He's also shown the ability to just be a legit lockdown defender. I mean, he was a menace in yesterday's Summer League win. And I really do believe that he has a lot of potential to continue that level of play and could end up finding himself in rotation minutes on the Lakers. I genuinely believe that. He's got good size, good athleticism, good foot speed. He has a lot of intangibles that the Lakers could use. I'm not saying he's going to get heavy minutes. I'm not saying he's going to play 30 minutes a game. But I absolutely think at the 2 guard, at the 3 spot, if you're running a small ball lineup against, say, the Warriors, something like that, putting him at the 4 maybe, I could see absolutely happening and him being quality out there. He, at times, has been passive, right, on the court, but I think that's also just part of the Summer League, where once he actually gets to the roster and in any playing time that he does get, if he gets any, Darvin Ham is going to give him the green light. I mean, Darvin Ham gives everyone the green light. If you're open, shoot the ball, right? In the California Classic games, there were several times where he had the ball and he was wide open to shoot it and just kind of, made a play, made a pass, got it to somebody else, which is fine, right? If you can get a better shot, then get a better shot. But you want to see those intangibles, right? You want to see his ability to shoot. And I really do think that he has a world of potential and upside. He's extremely young. He's versatile already on both sides of the ball. And he is, again, he's not a perfect player. He's not a guy that's going to come in and give you 20 and 10 immediately. But I do see the excitement. And I was pumped about him when the Lakers drafted him, right? He was one of the people that I actually broke down and made a video on before the draft because this was a guy that I legitimately believed the Lakers should take at 17. And I legitimately believed he has a world of potential to be the starting shooting guard or small forward on the Lakers in the foreseeable future. And we were able to get him at 40. That is ridiculous. But one of the things that I really look, because that was my thing, what can we compare him to, right? I've heard things like Paul George, and I don't mind that comparison, but I think a at least more realistic, obtainable comparison is Mikal Bridges. Now, some people might go wait, what? Mikal, but they have a lot of the same intangibles, right? You have Bridges, who's slightly smaller at 6'6", right? So you have Lewis, who he has an extra inch on him. That's valuable. That's something that helps in and of itself. He's also more athletic than Bridges. He's big too. Go look at Lewis and tell me he just doesn't look massive. He really does. He looks I don't know if he's grown or what, or if he's just stockier or what, but he just looks so much bigger than other people at 6'7". And so you have Lewis, who's 6'7", 205 coming in as a rookie. You have Bridges, who's 6'6" at 209, who has several years of experience, and you're starting to see Bridges really blossom for the Brooklyn Nets, right? He was averaging 20 points per game for Brooklyn. But I don't want to necessarily compare him to Brooklyn Mikal Bridges, right? Because this is still new. Is he going to be able to continue to replicate that? For one, we will see. I want to compare him more to the Phoenix Suns Mikal Bridges, because that was a guy that could give you 13 points on any given night. His career average was 13. And he was also a guy that could guard the best player on the other team and do it efficiently and effectively. He was a legit 3-and-D style player. That's what I see in Lewis. I think Lewis and Bridges have a lot of the same intangibles. They're very similar in build. I think Lewis, at least personally, is more athletic and looks just a bit stockier, and he's 20 years old as compared to Bridges, who's 26. I really think in 2 or 3 years, I think that this is going to be a comparison that is spot on, or if it ages badly, it's because he's just better, right? Like, I really like what we're seeing from, like, could Lewis actually be a Paul George type player? It's very possible. Paul George is a little bigger though, right? That's the difference too. That's why I think Bridges might be a little bit more of a comparable type player. But if what we have seen from Lewis is his ability to just score the basketball, his ability to shoot off the dribble, to shoot over the defender, to elevate and rise and use that athleticism, his ability to take guys off the dribble and be a legit 3-level scorer. That's what you get in Paul George, but you also get with Paul George elite level defense. You get he's top 5, top 6, two-way type players. Not saying he's top 5 or 6 in the league overall as far as player and talent-wise goes, but as far as like a legit two-way player, that is a guy that I think Maxwell Lewis can strive to become. Right? And he's still 20. You never know. He could make up that other inch. But I do like the Bridges comparison. I think that when you look at Bridges and you look at Lewis, I think they have very similar games. The way that they operate, the way that they look to score. I think that's just a good floor for Lewis. I really do. I think that Bridges is like the floor. Paul George is the ceiling. Maxwell Lewis also has a 7-foot wingspan, which is really nice to have, right? He has a longer wingspan than Paul George, Paul George has a 6'8" wingspan. And then, you look at a guy like Mikal Bridges, and he has, I think, a 7-foot wingspan as well. 7'1", if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I believe it's 7'1". So you have the comparable in just size, the wingspan, the defensive tenacity, the ability to be a 3-level scorer, which we're seeing more with Mikal Bridges in those spots, right? Mikal Bridges has shown, he's a legit 20-point per game guy, at least, if not more. I think that that's what we could see with Lewis. I really do. I really think Lewis has the potential to be a legit 20-point, two-way type player, a guy that can defend the best player on the other team and still go get you 20 on any given night. And if he can, then the Lakers got a steal of this draft. A steal of this draft. Even if he's it depends on who's on the roster, right? But if he's the 3rd, 4th option in 3 or 4 years, kind of like Mikal Bridges with the Phoenix Suns. That's why I think Phoenix Suns Mikal Bridges is a great example, where Paul George was a number 1 for a long time. So I don't really want to put him at the number 1 standard yet. I don't doubt for a second that he can't get there. At I'm saying him in a Mikal Bridges Phoenix Suns role as the 3rd option, I think Lewis can legitimately be a 15, at least 15, maybe 5-5 guy. His ability to make plays for others, his ability to score, his ability to defend. I think he's going to be a problem in the next 3 to 4 years, maybe. Right? Once he starts coming into his own, starts getting comfortable, post the LeBron James era and all that stuff, where, we kind of move into the younger guys and kind of let them develop more and get more run. You never know. I mean, maybe Lewis is the next Austin Reeves, right? In the sense of like he takes this year, kind of gets sparing minutes throughout, kind of earns his way into the rotation, and then year 2, it's like, well, we don't need to keep Taurean Prince, right? Or we don't need to keep Cam Reddish, or maybe we should look to move Jared Vanderbilt because we got Lewis, something like that. And it's like Lewis comes in, steps up, and all of a sudden you look and he's the starting small forward, and he's putting up 15 a game and guarding the best player on the other team and just being a menace. I mean, you're even seeing the leap with like Max Christie, right? Max Christie year 2 is just he's unfair in summer league right now. Like, he's just so much better than everybody else on the court. Like, it's not even fair. He's out there literally coasting and dropping 20 a game on 11 attempts. He's shooting over 50%. He's getting whatever he wants. He's locked down defense. I could see Lewis being that next year for the Lakers. I don't really want to put those expectations on him year 1, right? Is it possible year 1? Yeah, of course. Plenty of players have done it, right? But I just think the Lakers, they have the veteran guys. They're trying to compete for an NBA championship. Unless he is just standout, head and shoulders, just great in training camp and stuff, I don't think that's realistic to expect him to come in year 1. But year 2, I absolutely think we could see him maybe taking those strides, taking those steps, and all of a sudden he's the Austin Reeves next year. But I'm really high on Maxwell Lewis. I really like what we're seeing from him, and I really do think that this guy has a world of potential. But how do you feel? What are your thoughts are? I'd love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments below.